Hello YouTube, this is Detroit Borg, and here we have the second generation Apple TV to unbox. It came in a very small box. Today is September 29th, 2010, and they are just arriving in customers' hands today. So let me go ahead and crack this open. So it's a very small box. It resembles the Mac Mini's box. On the back we have a description of the product with a preview of the menu system on your TV. We have the Apple TV and the remote. On the side it tells us that it's 802.11n Wi-Fi with an HDMI output. And of course the picture of the Apple TV itself, Apple logo. And of course on the bottom we have all the information. I'm just going to cut the plastic off. You just push this out. A little tab here to pull up the Apple TV. It's very tiny. Let's put that aside. We have a little remote. They put it in diagonally to fit the box. Very clever. So here's the remote, also wrapped in plastic. We lift up the cradle. We have a black power cord to match the black Apple TV. It's neatly wrapped. We don't have an HDMI cable, we'll have to provide our own. And we have a little booklet, and it's black like the Apple TV. So we have the setup guide. We also have Apple stickers. Looks like we have other regulatory and warranty information. Now let's just unwrap the Apple remote. So again, it's just one piece of aluminum with a button. Now this is not a click wheel like on an iPod, it's simply a directional D-pad. You can actually see it firing through this camera. Of course the battery has already been installed and the battery compartment is right here. If you want to unscrew this, you would use a coin. So we have the menu button, play, pause, etc. So here we have the Apple TV and it's plastic. We have a little tab here to pull back. So it just slides out. It has this round pedestal just like the Mac Mini. I'm actually looking for the ports. I see the ports are covered behind this plastic. So it looks like we have a little tab here. There you go. That's new for them. Usually it's clear. On the back we have an Ethernet cable along with an optical output as well as an HDMI output and a mini USB port as well as the power supply. Now I'm noticing that the black plastic isn't exactly opaque. You can actually see through it. So you can kind of see the internal components. And I assume the IR sensor is also somewhere over here. Perhaps that's it right there. I'm not sure. The top itself is a matte plastic, so it's got a matte finish to it, and the Apple TV logo, of course, is the shiny plastic on the side. The bottom is also this flat matte plastic, except for the Apple logo. And of course we have other information on the bottom. Now let's compare this to the old Apple TV. As you can see, the old Apple TV dwarfs the new Apple TV quite a bit. Of course, the new Apple TV no longer has an internal hard drive, but it does have a much more powerful processor. It has the same A4 1 GHz processor that's also in the iPad and the iPhone 4. Now we have lost some of the connections. We still have an optical audio out, but we've lost the analog and the component video. We're now only HDMI. The USB is now micro USB, and we still have an Ethernet port. Now the old Apple TV had this anodized aluminum band around the edge with this white and gray plastic top. It also had this rubber foot on the bottom with the vents around the side. The new Apple TV is almost completely seamless. It's one piece of plastic on the top, and it looks like there is a very tight fitting panel on the bottom. You can barely see the seam here. It is sort of a rubbery feel to it. It's not quite as rubbery as the bottom of this, but it will grip onto a surface pretty well. Now let's go ahead and connect this to a TV and take a look at the menu system. Now to connect the Apple TV, all you have to do is plug it in. The power supply is internal. And you do have to supply your own HDMI cable. That's all there is to it. And now we can see that there is a little indicator light on the front panel. Now it's so lightweight and small that it's twisting on the torque of its own cable. Now this is what you'll see when you first turn on your Apple TV, and of course you can use the included remote. The first thing I'll need to do is connect to my local Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to my time capsule, and I'll have to enter in my code. The first thing I want to do is go to Computers to turn on Home Sharing. And here I'll enter in my Apple ID. Now what activating home sharing does is allow me to interact with my iMac on my home network, so my Apple TV can pull my content from my iMac. So let's go to OK. Now that home sharing has been activated on my iMac, I can go ahead and select it as one of my computers. And now I'm able to stream music, movies, TV shows, podcasts, iTunes University, and photos. So let's go to music. And here you can thumb through the music. You can sort by albums. And it will play directly from your computer. You can also do a search. So let's search for Coldplay. Coldplay. Go to Parachutes. And click play. Let's go to movies. Of course, I have Star Trek in here.
But I like it.
Now let's go to photos. Now in order to share photos, I have to do something else. I have to go to my iTunes account, choose photos to share from the advanced menu. So let me go ahead and take care of that. Now we see events, photos, faces, and all my albums. So I took some photos of a car I'm purchasing, this Lincoln MKX. So I can just click on this. And I can click play and it'll play a slideshow. Now let's go to movies. Let's search top movies. So here we have a selection of movies in which we can rent. We can no longer download or buy these movies and save them to the Apple TV like you could with the previous model. So let's go ahead and just pick the top one. We can preview, we can rent, we can add to our wish list or more. So let's go to rent. Now wish list used to be replaced by buy, so you could probably buy this for $19.99 in high def. I'm going to go ahead and rent this in HD for $4.99. So there I go, I have a message that the movie is ready to play. TV shows is very similar. You can go to top TV shows, and Glee is very popular, so let's click on Glee. Looks like you can rent the most recent one, so if you click the most recent episode, you can rent for 99 cents. Now with internet, you have access to Netflix, YouTube, podcasts, MobileMe, Flickr, and radio. Now what everybody's interested in is Netflix, so let's go ahead and look at Netflix. I'm going to go ahead and log on. So now I have access to my Netflix library. Recently watched Star Trek. So let's go ahead and watch Star Trek again. Click play. See that the menus are actually very similar. It's not like you're jumping to Netflix and getting their own brand of user interface. It's a very seamless experience overall. You even have the cover flow effect. Now with YouTube, you can log on to YouTube. You can see my favorites, subscriptions. Let's see what the snazzy iPhone guy is up to. We're going to see how to become a successful YouTuber.
Hey guys, so this is Quinn, that snazzy iPhone guy, and I've been getting this question probably 5 to 6 times per day.
So there you go, that's Quinn. So I can rate this video from here, save to favorites, or flag as inappropriate. So let's go ahead and rate this video. Let's say it's awesome. Alright, there you go, Quinn. Now let's go to radio. Let's go to adult contemporary. Let's go to At Work 104. There you go. Sounds awful, but you have some radio. So once again, guys, this is Detroit Borg taking a look at the new Apple TV. Thanks for watching.